All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. What a game. Captain Kirk Cousins led a stunning comeback with a 70-yard, game-winning drive that took just 1 minute and 5 seconds. It all ended with a brilliant move by Drake London, who outplayed Darius Slay Jr. with 34 seconds left on the clock. And to top it off, Jesse Bates III, one of the most underrated players, despite his impressive stats and paycheck, sealed the victory with an interception. Folks, that was an incredible win. It's only week 2, but the Atlanta Falcons are back. In week 1, they faced a tough challenge, going up against their former head coach, Arthur Smith, who had been with the team for the last 3 years. Now the offensive coordinator for Pittsburgh, Smith knows the Falcons inside out. He knows every player like the back of his hand. So it was a tough opening game for Atlanta, especially with Kirk Cousins coming back after a long break from football. And let's be real, the game wasn't pretty. The Falcons were dominated in time of possession, 36 minutes for Philadelphia compared to just 24 minutes for Atlanta. But they still outgained the Eagles, racking up 385 total yards. And just like that, the Falcons are one and back in the game. Before we dive deeper into today's video, if you're enjoying the content, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for daily NFL updates. I also drop at least one Falcons video every week, so help me get this video to 100 likes. It would mean the world to me. Now let's talk about Tampa Bay. They're 2-0, which isn't surprising. Both Atlanta and Tampa Bay are strong NFC teams, capable of winning double-digit games this season. I can't wait for their first matchup in a few weeks. But for now, let's focus on that amazing Falcons comeback. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Seriously, it's something you need to experience. Cousins' pass to London was Atlanta's first game-winning touchdown in under 2 minutes since 2016. This is exactly why the Falcons paid Cousins what they did. Yes, drafting Michael Penix Jr. as a top 10 pick surprised a lot of people, especially after the investment in Cousins following his Achilles injury. But Falcons fans, take a step back. Atlanta's quarterback situation looks solid for the next 10 years. Penix has the potential to be great, and his college career at Washington was impressive. But the point is, Cousins was paid for moments like that game-winning drive. According to ESPN Stats and Info, with just 1 minute and 56 seconds left, the Falcons had only a 7% chance of winning. Yet, they pulled off 6 lead changes, ending with that thrilling final play. This game marked the 7th most improbable comeback since Next Gen Stats began tracking win probability back in 2016. Kirk Cousins was at the heart of it, finishing 20 of 29 for 241 yards and 2 touchdowns. He averaged 8.3 yards per completion, a huge stat for Cousins as he bounced back from that tough loss to Pittsburgh. Remember, not only does Pittsburgh have Arthur Smith as their offensive coordinator, but they also have one of the best defenses in the league. It's important to note that Cousins hadn't played football for a while, and with this win, he improved his Monday Night Football record to 4-10. Slowly but surely, he's making his comeback. But let's not forget about the supporting cast, Darnell Mooney, Bijan Robinson, and that underrated defense. Darnell Mooney is such an intriguing player. I followed him closely when I was covering the Chicago Bears. He led the Falcons with 3 catches for 88 yards, including 2 massive catches for nearly 50 yards during that final drive. He also had a 41-yard touchdown in the 3rd quarter. It's wild because I've always liked Justin Fields, but watching so many highlights where he couldn't connect with Mooney was frustrating. Bears fans know what I'm talking about. Mooney, a 1,000-yard receiver a couple of years ago, seemed destined for big things. But last season, it was all about DJ Moore, leaving Mooney with limited opportunities. Now in Atlanta, Mooney is thriving. He's crucial for this offense, especially when you consider they already have weapons like Bijan Robinson, Tyler Allgeier, Kyle Pitts, and Drake London. People were worried about who would step up as the number 2 wide receiver, but folks, it's Darnell Mooney. London also had a solid game with 6 catches for 54 yards, including that clutch game-winning touchdown. He was open a couple of times for scores, especially on that final drive, but he made the play that mattered most to seal the win over Darius Slay Jr. As for the running game, it's probably the best backfield in the NFL right now. Bijan Robinson has only played 1 season in 2 games, but he's already showing why he's special. Tyler Allgeier is extremely underrated too. Atlanta ran for 150 total yards, led by Robinson's 14 carries for 97 yards, an impressive 6.9 yards per carry. Allgeier wasn't far behind with 9 carries for 53 yards. Together, they averaged 5.4 yards per carry against one of the top defenses in the league, the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's not forget about Cousins' contract either. This offseason, he signed the largest free agent deal in NFL history, a 4-year deal that could be worth up to $180 million. And then there's Jesse Bates, who's also playing a huge role in this Falcons team's success. As we mentioned earlier, Jesse Bates was a huge part of this win. Last summer, he signed a 4-year, $64 million deal, and he's already proving his worth. Not only did he get the game-sealing interception, but he also made a crucial pass breakup at the goal line against Devonta Smith, forcing a field goal in the 3rd quarter. On top of that, he led the Falcons' defense with 12 tackles. Speaking of this defense, let's talk about A.J. Terrell. He's an unbelievably talented young cornerback, one of the best in the NFL right now. And then there's Matthew Judon. He had a sack in this game, and if he can stay healthy, he's going to be a massive factor for this team. I remember covering the Falcons leading up to the draft, and people were speculating about whether they'd go for a wide receiver like Rome Odunze. Many thought they'd pick Dallas Turner with the 8th overall pick. If Atlanta passed on him, the Bears were expected to take him at 9. But instead, Atlanta took Michael Penix Jr., and Chicago got Turner. Now, while Atlanta's defense might lack big-name players, they've got plenty of talent. It's like shopping at Aldi. You might not recognize the brand, but you're still getting quality. This defense has talent all over, from the defensive front to the secondary and linebackers. The trade for Matthew Judon and the signing of Justin Simmons really solidified this defense. Plus, with a head coach who has a strong defensive background, they're set. On offense, the Falcons are equally stacked. You've got Drake London, Darnell Mooney, Kyle Pitts, who, by the way, is still sitting on my fantasy bench, and one of the best running back rooms in the league. The offensive line and quarterback situation are solid too. Honestly, this team is loaded with talent and well coached. The Atlanta Falcons are officially back. After the Week 1 loss with Kirk Cousins, people were panicking, but it just needed some time. This huge comeback win, with less than a 1% chance of happening, proves that this team is the real deal. Thank you all for watching, and shout out to Saquon Barkley for that fumble. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for daily NFL content. Falcons fans, let me know your thoughts and who your player of the game was from last night in the comments below. See you in a few days. Peace.